Have you found that the number of friends you have, your circle of friends, has gotten smaller and smaller as you go from your 60s into your 70s and then your 80s? And this is quite regular to happen. And you have to think about doing something about it. Social connection has been proven that you increase your chances of dying early when you lack social connections. And that comes from a study by Dr. Brad Stanfield. As one lady said, she sits on her sofa and looks through her phone, sometimes dials a number, but more often than not, the phone numbers don't belong to anyone anymore. And lots of times she has sent the last text, she has made the last phone call, she has invited somebody for coffee, and lots of times there's no reception for it, which is very sad, but it's a fact of life. Have you ever looked around and all these friendships have quietly disappeared? Does friendship have an expiration date? It can feel deeply personal, but it's not. So many women experience this, and most importantly, you can build new, meaningful friendships. And this video will show you how. My name is Eleanor Rose. I'm a researcher and author, and I dig into anything that has to do with good retirement, healthy retirement. And we talk honestly about the changes that happen. And be aware that women over 50, 60, 70, and 80 from around the world send me their stories. Give me permission to use them on this channel so that other women may feel encouraged and happier. And lots of times in regard to friendship, for years and years, it was so easy to have lots of friends and meaningful friends, from people at your children's school, people at work, people at clubs and hobbies, maybe the fitness center. It was easy to come by meaningful friends. But when you start to age, some people move away. They downsize, they go to live near their kids, they pass away. Right where I live, there's 13 houses, and 9 people in the last 10 years have passed away. It's sad. Yes, it's sad. But you need to have some tools to know what to do about it. The realization does hurt. I mean, these are the people that you shared routines with, laughed with, went to parties with, danced with. And you might be wondering if you're less interesting. And you might think that's the reason that you're losing friends, but it's not. It's just life happening, and you need to do something about it. I have some research for you. The English Longitudinal Study of Aging, one of the best known studies on aging, has shown that strong social relationships are closely connected with better emotional well-being, healthier aging, and greater life satisfaction as people grow older. So it's really important, if your circle of friends has gotten way too small, that you do something about it. Now, a lady named Heather sent her story to me on just this topic. She was 67 when she sent the story, and she had retired from teaching 5 years earlier and had buckets of friends back then. But as the 5 years progressed, her life got quieter and quieter. And her husband, Bob, wasn't bothered about the quietness. As a matter of fact, she said that he loved it. He gardened, he read, he watched some television, he exercised, He was very content with retirement. But Heather was missing lady friends, friends to laugh with, talk with, share ideas with. It was all getting way, way too quiet for Heather, and she sort of didn't know what to do about it. She told me in her story that at one point she walked by an office that had a sign in the window inviting people to come in and learn bridge. And she looked at the sign and thought, "Ugh, I'll never be able to learn bridge. And plus, everybody there will know everybody, and I will be the standout newcomer, and blah, 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 blah." But she talked herself into going in and was surprised, surprised. Two ladies at the front were so friendly, and they laughed and they chatted and they invited her to come in and listen. And there was coffee and goodies, and people there new like her and people that were the regulars. Everybody was enjoying the afternoon. And she learned that bridge was not going to be threatening, that it was going to be taken slowly if you were a beginner. So she decided and filled out the membership. So she went 2 afternoons a week. And the ladies that were the teachers were so helpful. And her friends now that were sitting with her at the table, there were 6 newbies. Everybody laughed and chatted and felt equally stupid about bridge, but they stuck and they kept going. And it turned out that not only those people at the table became friends, all women, but the teacher ladies became friends. And they began to do things like they would go for lunch before bridge. Not all the time, but maybe 2 times a month. They also came up with other ideas. She went with 2 of the ladies on a 1-day bus outing to a flea market, and they had fun. And it was fine with Bob. Bob didn't mind, just gave him more quiet. And Heather was starting to really blossom because of the friendships. And it was a coincidence that she went in to hear about bridge. I mean, had she not, she would have gone on just feeling a dearth of women companionship, waiting for somebody to solve her problem. And that isn't going to happen. No one is going to knock on your door and say, would you join this or join that? You have to take the first step. And it can be a small, uncomfortable step. But look around in your town, in your village, in a shop window, in the local newspaper. There's got to be something that appeals to you. And all you have to do is keep showing up. Familiar faces get to know each other, start to share, start to laugh, and enjoy each other. And that's how friendships grow. The woman sitting beside you may be just as uncomfortable and maybe a little fearful as you. Sometimes one simple conversation could change 2 lives, yours and hers. And you never know. It seems that when you have things in common as you age, that those friendships might be deeper than the friendships you had as your kids were growing up and as you were working. People become less interested in impressing others and more interested in simply enjoying each other's company. You find that people no longer want to know, what did you work at? Because they don't care. They just want to enjoy you and have fun with you. That's how it goes as you age. When the friendships after 50 fail, life changes and you have to do something about it. You need new conversations, new laughter, new adventures. And Heather, would you believe it or not, with 3 other ladies, booked a trip to Scotland, and off they went. Bob was the one that drove them to the airport. They had a bang-up time. Now she's got what I would call a pile of new friends. And you can do that. And also think about friends, making friends with people that are younger than you. They have more staying power than people that are older than you. Do think about that. I encourage you to take the bull by the horns, get out of your quiet life, and make friends. It's not that hard because people in retirement are receptive, kind, and considerate. If you have found this video valuable, please subscribe and do leave your story in the comments below, because it's possible that something you say will affect another woman and get her up and out of her doldrums and out to make friends. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next video.